G'day, punters. Welcome. We've got a great guest on today, the Prince of Albury. Is that fair enough, Mitch? Prince of Albury?
Mate, I've been called a lot worse down here, so I'll certainly take that.
Outstanding. Hopefully we'll change it to the King come the end of the week, mate. We've got a huge Albury Gold Cup Carnival coming up. We thought it would be a great opportunity to get you on, discuss a few of your runners, maybe give an update on some of your potential superstars rolling through, and even have a chat about some horses that are up and about. Mate, why don't we get straight into it? Plenty of punters out there, myself, fellow owners. Quick little insight to how well Insight's progressing in the paddock.
Yeah, went and saw her on the weekend, and she looks fantastic. She looks like she could come straight back into work. And don't worry, I was tempted to. I was lucky I didn't take the float with me. I reckon I would have just about put her back on. But she's a ripper. You know, I don't think I've had a 3-year-old filly win their first 3 starts, and albeit it was only here at Albury, but you know, to take on those older horses and win it the way that she did was terrific, especially when you were sort of in the hole for her as little as what we were. She's got great residual value, and she'll have another sort of 3 to 4 weeks in the paddock and give her a good spell, bring her back towards that back end 3-year-old, and go from there. But yeah, couldn't be happy with the way that she's going.
Outstanding. And look, for any viewers that have no idea about that, I've got a small herring percentage in her, and that's through Patriot Bloodstock, who do an amazing job there. And with Mitch, and look, we had a bit of a chat pre-jumping on here, Mitch, about the great work you do with your horses. Bit of a discussion around, you know, every horse you pick up, you purchase, you're spending like it's your own money. Mate, talk us through the strategy at the moment in regards to picking up, purchasing horses, and how you go about it, mate.
Yeah, we play that online market pretty heavily. You know, we invest a lot of time and a lot of effort into trying to find those horses online. And as we sort of discussed before, it's not about trying to find that diamond in the rough, that horse that we're going to pay $5,000 for and win a Saturday race or a big country cup with. You know, there's a lot of people that are happy to just put in a small amount for a horse that's going to race consistently over the next 6 months and win a few races or two and pay its training fees. And people get a great thrill out of that. And, you know, they're not looking for that big superstar to change their life. And, you know, to invest in that market and invest in that dream is fantastic, but it's also a very expensive one. You know, if you go down that yearling sale path of the medium to higher price yearlings, it's a big stake. I mean, when you get it right, some of these colts and fillies are worth tens of millions of dollars, but when you get it wrong, it can take some getting over. So we know the right horses to buy for this area, and we just want to buy horses that come here and can win races. And if getting to a highway and winning a highway is their grand final, then that's the market that we sort of want to play in.
Yeah, outstanding. And punters, we'll have a bit of a chat, Mitch, later on about how you can get involved in anything that he has coming up. But, mate, let's give the punters what they want, mate. We're going to go to day 1 of the Albury Carnival. And I know Saltsy and his mate Nick Foot's got one going around from the 2 Units podcast to you sent to, it might have been Cora, one of those venues recently that ran a nice second by the name of My Bold Boy, jumping from barrier 14, race 1. Kick off the carnival, mate. What are your thoughts there? Is it jump, lead, win sort of job?
Oh, I wasn't wrapped with the barrier, but then I quickly remembered he drew 12 or 13 at Corra, and he was about 6 in front after they'd gone 50 metres. So it's not often that you have a horse in a 1,000-metre race and it sort of doesn't matter what barrier they draw. I've never had one that can begin that quick. We haven't had him overly long, and there's a fair contingency coming up from Melbourne to see My Bold Boy kick off. So I think he's a terrific chance. There's a couple of unraced horses that have trialled up smartly. I think from the race brigade, he's probably the best hope. But geez, if he wins race 1 of the 2-day carnival, it's going to be a sight for sore eyes here in Albury with the 2 Units and Saltsy and Footy kicking off what could be a very hectic 48 hours.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if the boys made race 2 if they got up. And those those 2 unraced horses you mentioned, I'm guessing will be Esperito and Improper. They're probably two good fancies that tried quite well. But we'll all be behind the boys and yourself there in My Bold Boy. Mate, head on to race 2 there. We've got old Greg that rates pretty well on the same thing, mate. Any push there for the punters?
Yeah, disregard his first couple of starts. He's useless without the shades on. He worked up all right. He was disappointing his first 2, threw the blinkers on him. He ran second here at big odds, and then we took him out to Leeton. But we just didn't have – it wasn't so much we were trying to find a weaker race. We just wanted to get him out in trip. He'll relish the 2000. He's fresh. He's fit. He's a horse that I think, now that he's got to this trip – just judge him on his last 2 starts, and he'll probably go around overs, and he won't be the worst each way bet.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure any punters out there doing their form on my database, I have him right up the top there. So fingers crossed we can get you over the line there, Mitch. Race 3, you got a drill accepted. You've got Wise Dragon and Isola Sacra. Any push for which way Wise Dragon's going, and they're also nominated for the Friday as well.
Yeah, I've just scratched him out of the stronger race on the same day over the same trip. So we'll have 2 in that race. He was a good winner last start. He camped in behind the speed and won pretty convincingly in a Class 2. So 58. This is probably a weaker race, I would say, than what he faced last start. He does get penalised weight-wise, but our stable apprentice Fiona Sank will take over claim 3. She's won on the horse before. Can he win 2 in a row? His running to win ratio says no, but his last start says yes. So leave me out on making a call with him. I'd love to see it, but it's hard. I think some of these horses, they don't win out of turn.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Solar Sacra.
If they run along quick, she'll win.
She'll win.
She's a very nice filly. Her first up run here over 1400, she got held up in the straight, flown home. She's beaten the length to Tap and Run in the SDRA Championship lead up, and then had no luck last start on a track where you couldn't really get back and make ground on Championship Day there at Wagga. It was very hard to make ground. She got held up for a few strides again, and again, not beaten far, finishing just out of the money. She's a month between runs out to the mile. That won't bother her. She's rock hard fit. She likes to be on the fresher side. She just needs good tempo up front because she'll be a long way off them.
That's a good push, punters. Hopefully we can get a bit of tempo. And look, they are racing for big prize money there, so don't be surprised to see Sparks fly in some of these races. Race 7, mate, is at Nemeth and Swagger. Any push towards either of those, mate?
Swagger was a great run in the country championships. He drew 17. He was last. Again, as we touched on, it was hard to make ground. He flew home, ran 5th. Back fresh to the 1200. He's a highway winner. And he's running the Maruya Town Plate first up, fresh over the same trip. Was really, really good. He went to Canberra and he pulled up sore. We medicated his hocks post that, and he's back to his best. But whether the 1200 is just a little bit short for him fresh. Menmouth bled. Menmouth had a bled from one nostril. So he went back to the trials. He trialled to the steward's satisfaction. It was a pretty one-off thing. We've galloped in here, scoped him, and we haven't had a repeat occurrence. So you can rule a line through his first up run, and his runs, last preparation, probably had him a lot better of a chance, but he is going in there with a cross next to his name.
Right, mate. So I give you $100 day one of the carnival. How do you spend it?
I reckon
on the punt,
if we
not
had,
on the bar.
I think we'd just have 100 on My Bold Boy. I think, he's going to be in it for a long way. And although he's had a few convictions next to his name, he's only had one start for a second for us. And if that was his only start for the new stable, then he'd probably come up odds on. So we'll have him carry us and kick off the carnival with a bang.
Yeah, his last 2 ratings are pretty good as well. So there you go, punters. My bold boy, best of day 1. Now, Mitch, before we chime into day 2, and one horse there in particular, I really want to have a chat to you about something that sort of caught my eye there. I like, but mate, quickly, social media, quickly becoming a rising star of racing social media. You've surpassed Salts. You're about to go see you later to Davo and his fishing expertise. Talk me through it, mate. What's the go? Obviously, you love engaging with the racing community, and it's awesome. It's awesome for racing itself. How'd you get into it, and what do you love about it?
I think being young, I'm still clinging on to that phrase in this game. Thank God I'm still young for a racehorse trainer. But I think the social media and the Twitter and that sort of side of things has always been me before I became a trainer. I've been training 6 years now, and I've been an idiot for 33 years. So I never really wanted to let what I do for a job and for a living and for a lifestyle change who I was. And I cop a bit of slack for it. I think some people think it's a bit unprofessional and things like that. But I really don't have any reservations. I mean, we're here at the stables from sun up till sundown, all day, every day, and we're confident in the job that we do, and I can't really give any more to the horses or to training than what I do now. So I think it's a way of not letting racing consume me. I mean, there's a lot of other things in life that I enjoy, not just KFC and Great Northern Schooners, which I mainly tweet about, but it's just good to be me. And some people want to get involved in the stable because of that, and some people don't have horses with us because of that, and that's fine. But at least people see what they're in for before they have a horse with me, maybe, or get involved with the stable. And it's nice to know that when people do get involved in the stable, that they don't have a different opinion of what they might have thought of me before they did. We're upfront and honest. And one thing we can't do in this game is guarantee success. But if you can guarantee enjoyment and fun and people liking being involved in the stable, regardless of their horse's ability level, then you can't really do much more.
Tell you what, mate, there's one word for the haters and the people that think that you shouldn't be doing it. They're called dinosaurs. It is, without doubt, the best thing you could do for your business, and that's coming from my complete unprofessional opinion. But I think you're doing an amazing job. Keep it up. You're gonna cop sprays. I throw a few tips out there here and there, and geez, you cop sprays, whatever. Everyone can have your opinion as long as you're true to yourself, and you are true to yourself, mate. We love it. So most definitely kept that up. One thing I will note, Mitch, obviously plenty of humour going on amongst Twitter, which is fantastic. As a racehorse trainer, probably far, far more downs than ups. Lot can go wrong. A lot of stoicism in your humour as well, mate. Where does that come from? Or the ability to get back up and see, the good siding things, mate.
I think the best bit of advice I ever got when getting involved in horses is being good at losing. And I've worked for a lot of trainers that are very, very bad at losing, and I just don't ever want to be them. I mean, ultimately, if we take 100 runners to the races, if 80 of them lose or 83 of them lose, and you're running it, anywhere between 14, 16, 18, close to 20% as a trainer, you are low level flying. But you still got to drive home 80 times with your tail between your legs. So if you're going to sook up and take it out on your staff and not answer your phone and it affects how you train and how you have other horses. And if you're not good at losing, then you can't be in this industry and be successful and well liked. And that goes for everything: punting, jockeys, owners. We lose 80% of the time, 85% of the time is a great losing strike rate. And I think if you look at it more through a losing strike rate than a winning strike rate, I mean, winning's easy. Everyone's good at winning. You've just got to be a good loser and learn from losing and get over it quickly.
Mate, as a golfer, I know a lot about losing. Mate, let's head on to day 2 of the Albury Carnival. Obviously, nominations or acceptances aren't out yet. We'll be out tomorrow, but let's have a little look at race 1. We've got Tulligan. Any thoughts on that, mate?
I own him. So there's a big cross already. But there was about 12 or 13 noms before when I last looked for the Albury Cup before I had to go into a meeting. So I threw him in, and then they ended up with about 19. So if they get very, very low acceptance, he can have a spin around. But if not, he'll run in the Adrian Ledger over 2,400.
Outstanding. These are not necessarily race orders. These are just how they've been spat at me at Racing New South Wales here. The one that I'm really interested in, Bulletin, former Waterhouse bot horse. Caught my eye.
Former Breeders' Cup juvenile winner, lining up in the flat knacker. So the world works in mysterious ways.
It's a reverse Shelby 66.
Yeah, he's on a downward spiral. Really nice horse. He was purchased online with some new clients, and he wasn't far off the mark. He trialled up really well in Sydney a few times, and for one reason or another, he just didn't click in that Sydney city environment. And I've had him down here for about 6 or 8 weeks, and he had a jump out the other morning, which I was more than pleased with. Soundness is great. He's got a sort of new lease in life. He's gone from, winning as I said, a Breeders' Cup juvenile to swimming in a dam here and trotting on a treadmill. So he might have had a bit of a reality check and might revert to some of that earlier form. And he wouldn't have to recapture much of his form. And I think at 61 kilos in a 900-meter race for a horse that's had 13 starts and earned $1 million, he's probably not a badly placed horse.
Mate, without a doubt. And I've got a jockey booking for it.
The old master, Nick Souquet, will ride him. We won't worry about claiming with him. It's a very tricky race, the flat knacker. I mean, a lot of people put horses in it that are dead set speedsters and fail to see out 1,000 meters. So it creates an insane tempo, and 90% of the time, it's certainly not won by horses up on the speed. It's run by sort of better class sprinters that let the speed go and get over the top of them late. And you need a good ride, and I'm sure Nick will deliver that with us. He jumped him out here the other morning, and I don't think I really had a choice in him riding it or not. He booked himself.
That's a good sign, punters. So we head on next. Honor the Legend broke through for a win the other day, backing up.
I had a real good crack at this horse at Corowa, and he went 2 strides out of the gate and got cleaned up, spat out the back, and never looked a winning hope. And I just went on a 10-minute rant about how good of a loser I am, and I don't think I spoke for about 4 hours after that race because I absolutely done my ass on Honor the Legend. So I still wasn't entirely happy Monday morning and put him straight back in the nominations and sent him to Queanbeyan on Saturday. And I tell you what, if you're thinking about having something on him, go and watch his Queanbeyan win. I think he was between 6 and 7 deep from the 800. He nearly hit the outside rail and still managed to win without any of us having a cent on him. God bless him. So
brutal.
Didn't learn. I haven't learned the whole follow him again after getting your fingers burnt just yet. But it's a great race this because it's for country New South Wales horses only. 1,500 where he's run second here twice. It's worth 50 grand. Great prize money. Whether he can win a maiden and go and win a Class 3 this next one, the stats say no, but for 50 grand we'll find out.
Absolutely, love that. And mate, we got 2 going around in a BM 58 potentially. The Wyvern, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and Hardware Lane, who's a bit of a spruik on this horse.
Yeah, he's as good a horse as I've ever had. He's a very, very good horse. I don't know what went wrong first up. He's pulled up fine. He was $1.30 first up, and he just went hard on speed. A couple pressured him, but it was still no excuse. He still should have won the race, and he just got one ran in on top of him halfway down the straight. A lot went wrong, but I was still disappointed in the run. But I've lost no respect for the horse, and I think he can bounce back and put himself in the winner's stall. He's a pretty smart horse. He's definitely a better than a highway sort of horse.
Outstanding. And would he be the best of day 2, mate?
Yeah, I think so. Without seeing barriers and things like that, on ability alone, he'd certainly be the best.
Outstanding. Mitch, awesome. Pleasure to catch up, mate. Have a chat. Hopefully we can do this again soon, mate. For the punters out there that want to chime in and grab a share in any of the horses, I highly recommend it. Just got into my second one recently with you. How do they do it, mate?
You're gone now, mate.
Gone.
Welcome to the rest of your life. Yeah.
Mrs. is headless. I've put one in her name that'll keep her happy.
No, she only knows about those two. Wait till she sees the invoices for the next 4. But no, just shoot us a message. Steph Grantel from Hayward Bloodstock handles all our purchases, and she does a lot of hard work with us. So get in touch with either her or myself, or jump on the website, or come up to the races over the weekend. I'll buy you a beer, and we'll get you into one.
Outstanding. Mate, what did I say about this beer bonanza in April? What's going on? Are we catching up for 1,000 schooners?
Mate, I thought we're due to have a bit of a owner's day, open day. I'm only financially and liver recovering from the last one, which was 2 years ago. So we'll have something out April-wise. I think we'll have a big meet-up somewhere, and celebrate the wins we've had, and hopefully have a beer to the ones in the future.
Outstanding. Well, there, punters, you want to be down there, you do not want to miss that. So jump on, grab a share with Mitch. And Mitch, thank you very much. All the best for the week ahead.
Cheers.